Hey everybody, just checking in. I know it's been a while since you've probably seen like these kind of videos. You've probably been watching daily the count up to 600, and just so you know, I just got done doing the 430th one, which won't be airing until September 15th. So, still a long ways to go till you catch up to me on that. The reason, of course, you're seeing those videos, of course, all those ultimates, and not in alphabetical order anymore, is simply because I've started selling them. I still have 600 built, and it's seriously just still going to continue until we get to 600. We're only 170 away at this point now. And the reason I started selling them was because, like I said, a lot of things are up in the air. Well, happy to report that the house has been bought. My little brother and his family have already moved to the house. Um, I'm still in limbo as if I'm going to move in right away or if we're just going to wait till grandma goes and moves in there first, and then I'll stay at the condo until she unfortunately passes, and then I'll move in there or whatnot. We're not sure what's going to happen there. So, first off, had a huge first week on selling. I mean, I made a good amount of money. I only moved a small amount of them too for the longest time because I still got at least 400 more, 400 to sell. Just to give you an rough estimate. Of course, I haven't listed all of them yet. I've still kept a little bit off. My Macari page is blown up, tremendously when it comes to putting so much stuff. So much so that people were getting annoyed that they had to look through so much to try to find something they wanted to buy. So I took some down for a little bit. I'll put some up here and there, fodder, parts, that kind of stuff. Obviously, more boxed in figure stuff, especially the multiverse. It's all going as well. Um, so yeah, so I'm still gonna be building, up the customs. Um, I mean, I'm halting it once the last few come in, but I did send off a few more right before I decided to, once I reached 600, I was gonna go above it, but I was like, no, I gotta do other things. I reshifted priorities. Had to get my car properly fixed. Had to get a second car if I'm moving out of state to travel back in to go to work at my job here and such. So just a lot of things happening. No new acting gigs, nothing like that. Just getting older as time goes on. But I am dropping weight and I am getting more healthier. I am beating at people at arm wrestling in the bars. So, a little happy about that. Singing's been going good and whatnot. But nonetheless, um, obviously, Comic Con, San Diego Comic Con is coming up in the future. I've pretty much bought any elite figures. I did restructure and go back to elite style figures, just because they're cheaper in the long run, more variety in the long run, less duplicates in the long run. So I ended up doing that. And what's cool about that was by just selling a few of the ultimates, I was able to really replenish my elite collection and then some. Um, and a few more parts. When I've started taking, some commissions, it's just like if you want to convert it from an elite to an ultimate, you've got the parts and the extra income. Gladly do that for you for a fee, of course. So yeah, that's what's been happening there. Of course, the channel, like I said, we're booked up till September, and every day that one sells, I made this mistake. I lost Kerry Von Erich, and I lost somebody else. Sold them off, sent them off, or decommissioned them from Ultimate back into an Elite using different parts before I made the video about them. And so they're not going to be out on the count up to 600, unfortunately, because I goofed and did that, not realizing I hadn't made the video of those yet. So now it's very important that when someone buys one, I go make the video and then I ship it off. So, womp womp. Um, I guess my thoughts on the WrestleMania stuff. At first I was like, okay, there's a couple new Ultimates in there. I mean, the Eddie looked cool, the Umaga looked great. But then, of course, I changed up styles. Now I'm like, oh man, I'm hoping we get an Elite Ultimate, or not an Ultimate, but Elite Umaga again. Um, but with everything happening and whatnot, with the house, with me going to be renting out my condo, me moving out to a small town, I may not be as gung ho on action figures as much as I used to be. Who knows? It's a whole new world out there. I've never left my area statewide unless I was in the military, and so my little brother thinks it'll be good to go to a smaller town. I'm a tall guy. I'll stand out easily. He just thinks that the city I live in now is just not for me anymore, and he's probably right because I don't have any my old friends here. They all have moved on. So that's what's going to happen with the channel for a little while. I'm still going to be posting Count Up to 600. Once that series is done, who knows if anything else is going to happen. Depends on how I do want to thank the 335. I had 36. One dropped off subscribers, so it's not blowing up. But at the same time, I do appreciate the people who do watch. I do appreciate the people who comment on. I do appreciate the feedback. Yes, Mustafa Ali, when you see him, was way too jacked. And that's one of the reasons I think why I stopped building the ultimates when I did. I stopped building modern guys. I went back to using old school. A lot of old school guys like Ted DiBiase was perfect. He's you just acetone off or even paint over the $1 million symbol, and you've got literally a 1950s looking wrestler body for quite a lot of guys. Stone Cold, Roddy Piper, very common with those. Of course, they just released that new Austin, which looked cool and whatnot. But the reason I stopped doing the ultimates, not just because of how cost effective or how costly it was, the drop down hips really irked me. I remember getting two figures and moving their leg, they snapped because of the drop down hip. So I was like, this is dumb. I'm tired of this. And they were guys who I could have probably went out and found parts to try to make them more, and I just thought, is this worth it anymore? I mean, Elite, I can get Elite for $20. It cost me $50-$60 to get these Ultimates anymore. But the good news was, with all the sales happening, I was able to pay off all the credit cards practically, and I did that during the waiting process for the house to show my little brother. When I'm like, hey, you're right, let's do this. Let's get a house. Let's rent my condo. Let's save up. Let's buy another condo. Let's buy another house. Let's start accumulating instead of retirement, because we're not getting any younger. So make sure that his daughters have something to nest on when we're gone one day. Whether I have a wife or kids, I don't know. Probably not. But the point is, I want to thank the people who have watched the channel, who are buying my stuff on Mercari. Keep checking back. I still list stuff, here and there. I do apologize if you did buy something this week on the 25th of May, obviously, or this week of May 25th and before, and you're like, where's my stuff? Ship out yet? Because of the move, I had no time to pack stuff up. Because of all the moving, I just didn't have time. Of course, my rule is on Wednesdays through Fridays I can send stuff off in the mornings. Saturday, because I'm booked solid, and then I'm at my other job out of town, I can't leave the location out of town, so you have to wait till I come back on Wednesday. So I do apologize for that. That could change as well in the future, especially if I move out of town. I have to travel into town to go to work, to come back out of work. But I will still try to get stuff shipped off in a timely manner. It won't be longer than a week, that kind of stuff, ever. So bear with it. It's gone long enough. Check back. I will also show off any elites, any people I decommissioned from Ultimate back to Elite, or just anybody I built out of some Elite parts I had lying around. A lot of the torsos are gone. I sent them to 3XR. So I've decided with Elites, they're harder to crack, they're harder to put back together. So I'm actually just been basically Frankensteining together. If it works, I'll Frankenstein somebody together and build somebody if it works. But as far as like going completely 100% custom, cracking, all that kind of stuff, Elite torsos I've had no luck with taking apart without putting stress marks on. Ultimates were fine. There wasn't that weird little part to it. So I'm not going to be somebody who's going from scratch building Elite figures like I did with Ultimates kind of thing. So don't expect that. But if I do find a way to build some people, if I do find a way to make, like I think I made a Kerry Von Erich just using the head in the boots, and using Ultimate Warrior, new style Dingo Warrior torso. It looked fine. Looked great. So I'll still share those formulas as well. Video's gone long enough. I just want to give you guys an update on what's been happening. I know you've been seeing the videos. I know last time I was very in like limbo. Everything was crazy. But sigh of relief. They have the house. Whether she moves in or doesn't move in, that determines if I'm moving up there right away or if I'm going to stay around for a while back here in the town, which will be fine too. I'm not hurting for any reason. They were the one hurting. I was the one that was worried about them. But after selling just, I'd say 1/3 of the collection that I built, I was able to get really right back into the green and get a lot of stuff taken care of. And now it's summertime and hours pick up. Students are out of school. the money starts rolling back in again. So check back next time, or check back again in the future. I'll give you another update, and probably after seeing San Diego Comic Con to see what new stuff's being released. It has been though like 3 weeks since we've seen anything new or even pre-orders popped up. So hopefully soon we'll see some new images and some new stuff that might get exciting. I don't know.